Hello. Today I'm going to show you how to connect to WarpStream using Python and specifically the Quix Streams Python library. And I assume you know what WarpStream is since you're interested in this video, but just in case, WarpStream is a Kafka-compatible message broker. And what I have on my screen here is a pipeline diagram of what I'm going to show you quickly. So here we're going to run a few simple programs that will write data into WarpStream, read back from it, and then write again. So we're going to generate some synthetic page view data. We're going to aggregate the results by page, write that back into WarpStream, and then just for fun, read it back out again and insert it into DuckDB for offline reporting and querying. So let's get started. First thing to do is install the dependencies. Now, I've done this already, so it's going to be very quick, but you can see here, Quix Streams, DuckDB, NumPy, Pandas, here we go. There we go. And then I'm going to clone the repo. It's a repo that I've prepared for this specific demo, but you can find it in the Quix.io GitHub organization. So git clone, Okay, so now we have the repo in my PyCharm environment. Now, before we can run any of these programs, we need to set up the environment variables. So I've got an env example here. I'm going to adapt that to my particular WarpStream account. So I'm going to paste that here with the actual values that we need, save it as an .env file, and then we are good to go. So this includes the address of the Bootstrap server as well. Right. So we have everything in place. Let's start to run the programs. So the first one I'm going to run is the demo page view generator. So let's get that going. And while we're waiting for it, I'll just explain what it's doing. So we're importing the dependencies here, and we are just building a connection based on the values in our environment variables file. So we're connecting to the Bootstrap server, using that connection configuration to create a Quix application. Here we have just some code that generates the synthetic data with random values. And here we have the context manager that creates a Quix producer. So that takes the payload, and this is the key part here. It sends that to WarpStream based on the topic name we've defined and the JSON payload, in which you can see that coming through here. Some very simple page view data, timestamp, user ID, page ID, action, scroll view, so on and so on. So that's going through nicely. It's time to run the second step, the aggregation. So we don't care about the specific users. We just want to aggregate the data by page ID. So let's do that. Very similar looking program, but we're actually reading from an input topic and we're producing to an output topic. So let's run that. Here we go. So we're reading from the topic, and this time around, we are doing a group by operation here. And so it's grouping by page ID, and we're just counting the actions per page and sending those count updates as a message to a downstream topic. And it's using a stateful aggregation, so it obviously has to keep track of the counts for each page. So here's a kind of mock-up file that I created that sort of shows a representation of the data. So these counts obviously keep getting incremented whenever a new message is received for a particular page. So we're going to keep incrementing those counts, and every time the count has changed, we're going to send a message to the downstream topic. So here in this case, it's called aggregated data. And then finally, we want to read from that and write the data to DuckDB as soon as it comes in. So that is the third step in our pipeline. So here we have another consumer application. We're going to run that. while those other two are producing data still. Same thing again, just to check the topics exist and read the messages. And in this case, we're just checking to see if a table exists. We're going to create it if it doesn't, and start to insert the records when each time a message comes through. And there we go. So we can see here the updated counts are coming through. If a page ID exists in the database, we just update it. If the page ID doesn't exist yet, we just add a new row. And that's how we keep the database continuously updated with the information from the topic. Okay, now I'm going to have to stop this one because with a local DuckDB database, I can't query it and write to it at the same time. So I'm just going to stop that quickly. And now I've just got a sample query here that I'm going to run. Just select all from the table. Okay, and here we go. We've got a data frame that gives us the counts for each of the pages. So it's basically a snapshot of the state of the current counts. Okay, so there we go. We have the data in a database. You can run queries on it. If you host it in MotherDuck, you can run queries while the database is still being written to. But that is a short demonstration of how you can use Quix Streams in combination with WarpStream. Okay, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe.